first voicemail, and then we'll go from there.
Hi, this is Valerie. I'm calling from Los Angeles. Answering the question about feeling the need for permission to rest. I really think this is a cultural thing, and you might say a cultural problem. I think in the U.S. and maybe Western culture more broadly, we always feel this need to be the best and to have more and more and to continuously achieve and build with really no end. And I think that's kind of like a mentality that most of us share just because of the way that we're raised and things that happen around us. And it just creates this sense of like never doing enough. And a feeling that if you're resting, there might be some opportunity that you're missing out on. So I feel like that's really where it comes from.
All right, thanks for calling in, Valerie. Norm, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, she's right. I think I don't even know if it's cultural anymore. I think it's literally everyone feeling so plugged in to everything all the time. Work, extracurriculars, that it almost feels impossible to be as like present as we once were, which is dark. And I feel like I feel that every day and like have to actively try it. Like my phone, I'm looking at it right now. Like it's just that ever present thing that it sucks that you have to talk to yourself to be like, all right, put it away. Like
It's a
that's
tough. It feels like you're not like allowed to like enjoy nothing now more than ever, and I think it's because maybe it's so easy to be doing something that it feels like so antithetical to like do nothing.
I mean, we're so accessible now. Like, I can, like, I don't know, your boss could call you or text you at any time of the day. You're getting emails all the time. It doesn't really matter like breaks or holidays. Now, like, everyone can get to you at all times. So there's like a higher pressure of like, well, if these people are working or need answers, then like I have to also be on top of it to like match that energy and match that like.
I feel like because we can see everyone doing everything,
Yeah.
that as soon as you dip into like I'm doing nothing, you're immediately comparing yourself to being like, oh man, I can see myself getting emails. There's people working right now.
Yeah.
There's people doing stuff right now. Why am I not doing that? So it feels like we're not like allowed to rest because you're like, well, everyone else is working.
Yeah. And I also like am constantly reminding myself, because I know it's easy to get bummed out about how on the clock you feel all the time about shit, but like when you dial back and look at yourself, it's like think of how many outgoing things that you want to hear back on that you haven't heard back on, that you're like anxious to check in on, that like I don't know. I check myself a lot with it and struggle with it for sure, but it's tough to unplug. It's very
Where do you guys think that comes from? That like need, like how you were saying, like if everyone else is working, then I should be working too. Like, why do you feel that pressure? Because I kind of know what Haley does as a job, and I'm assuming you guys all kind of do similar things, and I'm more of an actor. And so for me, it's like keeping up with the industry and keeping up with always trying to produce something and create something and get visibility. But I'm curious, like, because you guys were talking about emails. So I'm like, where does that pressure to respond to all these emails come from? And like, why do you feel like you have to keep up with it all the time instead of just being like, you know what, this is like my 2 hours of the day where I don't think about work?
Like you'll miss something.
Yeah, well, it's because like society wants you to contribute some way. Yeah. And if you have a job, even on a smaller scale, it's like people count on you. And if you're just off, you know what I mean? You might miss a few things. People get mad at you. You're just like.
I also think with like the like more entrepreneurship-y people, it's so fun because you're like, oh, I'm out of the 9 to 5 cycle, but then you're like, I'm only on now my cycle where I'm counting on me to make all these deliverables, make these clips, do XYZ, book this travel, like do these things. So like even if you're like, oh well, I don't have like a super traditional job, you still get stuck into like, well, I need to be productive.
If anything, not having the traditional 9 to 5 puts like an additional pressure on, like, if you're working at a corporate job and they're like, you have lunch at 1 and you're done at 6, go home and don't answer any other emails, then like you have like a bigger person like telling you to stop working. And when you're in these like, I'm running my own business, I'm running my own brand or like whatever, even like as an actor, you have to like consciously be like, you never stop grinding until you reach whatever level of success is success in your head. And like you could always be doing something. Like there is 100,000 things that you could be doing like at all times to like better that like career or the brand or the company or like whatever you want to be working
Jack,
on.
I'm gonna have you bring this up a bit. We're getting lots of messages in the chat that you sound quiet.
How dare you?
Project your voice.
Yeah, I can project.
Stop resting.
Thank you, Sunfar Johnson 7753. Wes, what do you think? No.
As he's resting right now. With a blanket in front of a fireplace.
in the fire.
More restful.
Just snowed in.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We got you.
Okay. Good. Just getting you. Yeah, I wonder if it's sort of a jealousy thing, really. Like, a lot of people are just absolutely swamped with work. And so they sit there and go, oh, you're just sitting on your ass doing nothing, dude? You should be grinding like me, grind set. But it's like everyone quietly wishes they were just at home hanging out or taking a break, you know. And some people do derive a lot of like meaning from their work and everything. But, you know, you just get burned out if you do it nonstop. And also, I think it's sort of a class thing as well, because if some rich person goes on vacation in the Alps for 2 months, not like this, though.
2 months.
Then, you know, they're like that. It's like, that's awesome. They earned it or whatever. But, you know, somebody's working all the time, just takes a day or two off. They're sort of driving for it.
I think it's also, I mean, kind of like what Haley said, the dark side of it is that comparison thing of like, if someone's outworking you, you feel like, fuck, why am I not working hard enough? Which is like super tough when you're always working and plugged in with it, to still feel that way. And if like accomplishments are what's driving that, that's like, man, tough to contend with. I feel like a big thing is, you know, I don't make like resolutions or anything, but this year I felt like prioritizing shit has been like the focus for whatever happens next, of just like, and like in a very respectful, you know, you need to work to live, you need all these things, but at the same time, and I feel like I've talked to you about it before, Jack, where it's like I go home and my parents are getting older, and that's like fucking with me. I'm like missing things with family and friends that, like, you know, in theory I could prioritize it and go back and do it, but I just feel obligated to do certain things above that, which I told myself I'd never let myself do, and I'm getting better at it. But it's just part of that whole working thing of just like, when do you allow yourself to give the time to like just give yourself time again? It's just tough. It's a battle, daily battle.
I think, and kind of back to the thing where it's just like, it does feel like the rest has become kind of almost like, it feels like it's a luxury. You're like, only the best of the best get to really enjoy themselves. But it's weird because as someone who works with a lot of people who are operating at the top of the level, I also feel like they have no idea how to rest.
Totally, for sure.
No, because you get to a point in like this like whatever grind set where like the taking the rest like feels wrong. Because if you're like, oh, like, okay, like I work whatever 9 to 6 and like one job, and then I like feel like I have to like do all this other stuff outside, like, you know, like all these other things like editing clips or doing whatever like you have to do, like writing if you are a writer, and all of these like self-motivated things in this like entrepreneurial world that like if you stop doing those things, you're like, I'm relaxing now, and like I'm like actively losing time and like money. Like, okay, like I'm whatever working, if you'd like look at it from a monetary perspective, every hour that you don't work, that you take off, then like you could be making money, which is maybe not the best way to look at things. But, like, it's true.
But yeah, I think we all know now that nothing really lasts forever unless you're really on it all the time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Because you could fall off.
Yeah.
Like if you don't post for whatever, like 2 days, like you lose your
That
algorithm.
fear of not,
Yeah.
sticking around.
Like you have to post 3
Yeah,
times a
that
day, and you have
visibility.
to do all these things, and like get out there, like go to the, like if you're a comedian, like you have to go to the comedy clubs at night and at least like show face. And
All right, gee.
sorry.
I'll go more. My bad.